what was interesting to me, and I think probably many of the other journalists who later corroborated my story, or at least reported the same thing, which includes the BBC and The Guardian, is that nobody that reported this warrant ever mentioned so much as a wiretap at all. We just reported the warrant that our sources told us existed, and we all reported the same thing. So the only people that reported a wiretap at Trump Tower were Breitbart News. Nobody else. And if there's been some leaks, maybe Steve Bannon or some of these other ex-Breitbart staffers have got something to answer to.
Let's take a look now at just some of the evidence that the Obama administration wiretapped President Trump, something that they're now calling a conspiracy theory. The New York Times just published this article, A Conspiracy Theory's Journey from Talk Radio to Trump's Twitter. Actually, we should probably look at this January 19th article from the New York Times. Intercepted Russian communications are part of an inquiry into Trump's associates. The FBI is leading the investigations, aided by the National Security Agency, the CIA, and the Treasury Department's Financial Crimes Unit. The investigators have accelerated their efforts in recent weeks, but found no conclusive evidence of wrongdoing, the officials said. One official said that intelligence reports, based on some of the wiretapped communications, had been provided to the White House. Here's another report from the same paper that's now calling it a conspiracy theory, where they earlier reported this from January 14th, that the Trump campaign aides had repeated contacts with Russian intelligence. That, by the way, is the real conspiracy theory. This article also talks about wiretapping Trump's associates and says that cases are part of American intelligence and law enforcement agencies' routine electronic surveillance of the communications. This article from HeatStreet.com, which is actually a website that's owned by News Corp, the parent company of Fox News, published this article the day before the election, saying that they had the exclusive that the FBI granted a FISA warrant covering Trump campaign's ties to Russia. So this isn't just some random website making up fake news. This is a News Corp website. Here's another report from the New York Times that they published just 3 days before President Trump started tweeting about the Obama administration wiretapping him. The Obama administration rushed to preserve intelligence of Russian election hacking. This article goes on to admit that U.S. intelligence agencies had wiretaps of phone calls between Michael Flynn, Donald Trump's former national security advisor, and others.
States, contrary to rumor, people just can't go around wiretapping everybody and etc.
Let me just remind you, or just point out to you for the first time if you've never heard of it, that James Clapper, the former director of national intelligence, committed perjury lying under oath during a congressional committee about the NSA spying on American citizens.
What I wanted to see is if you could give me a yes or no answer to the question, does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly.
Not
There are cases where they could inadvertently, perhaps, collect, but not wittingly.
No, we would never do that. I mean, if we did, it would just be an accident.
Excuse me, Rand Paul, do you want to clear this up for us?
I do think that when history looks at this, they're going to contrast the behavior of James Clapper, our national intelligence director, with Edward Snowden. Mr. Clapper lied in Congress in defiance of the law in the name of security. Mr. Snowden told the truth in the name of privacy.
Oh, before we go, let me just point out this over-decade-old news story from CNET that the FBI can tap into cell phone mics and use them as an eavesdropping tool as a roving bug. Something that even the counterfeit news network CNN admits is true. Yes, how the NSA can turn on your phone remotely. Even if you power off your cell phone, the U.S. government can turn it back on.